Hello, everybody, and welcome to the New Earth Ascending Consciousness page
Unity
interview,
Circle.
whatever this is.
Yeah, it's an interview for Debra Wall. We're doing an interview today
Yeah,
for Debra Wall, and she's a
yeah.
beautiful teacher that lives up north in Michigan, and
Hmm.
she's here to share her wisdom and to let you know who she is, so that you might want to be in one of her unity circles that she's doing in the future. We just want to introduce her and to let you know a little bit about our what we're doing here is that we're inviting anybody who wants to share knowledge, anybody who has something in their heart that they want to share. We're doing unity circles, and we introduce you to the public. It's a networking, so you get to meet people all around the world so that you can um, uh, so we can showcase your talents, and maybe you can eventually get people over to your own website. So this is just all about sharing and caring, and we repost everything the next day over on our YouTube page. It is called New Earth
Hmm.
AC and Ascending Consciousness, and so that's pretty much what we're about today. Um, and then I'm
Yeah,
here with Nicole,
and
who's out in the woods in Ireland.
yeah, and I want to talk for a second.
Sure, go ahead.
Am I echoing? Am I echoing?
No,
I
you're
think I
doing good.
am. I
No,
don't
you're
know.
fine.
Okay. Um, so I'm echoing in my ears. Maybe that's all it is.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take a second before we bring Debra on to kind of explain what it is that our group is, because we're a very different type of Facebook group. We're not like a normal Facebook group that you would find out there. Um, we, myself, Bonnie, Jessie May, and David Starr, we came together at the end of August. I think it was August 31st, and we, with the help of our guides, we wanted to bring forward something different to the collective, something different to the world. And so we wanted to try to do this, like, I guess it's kind of a prototype of the way that the world will be like when we fully raise our vibration and we go into the new earth. And this is the way communities will be, and this is the way we wanted to try to run the Facebook group. And we were told by our guides that if we can do this in a social media setting, if we can do this on Facebook, then we should be able to implement this in real life. And in the future, there, we are planning that eventually what we see is this is going to turn into not just a Facebook group, it's going to be communities all over the world. We're going to be probably having nonprofit organizations all around the world. And the nonprofit organizations are going to help raise funds to help clean up the earth and provide money to back people in their projects, people that are doing things out there to clean up our earth and to make the world a better place. And this is just the vision that we've been seeing that's going to be happening going forward. And we on trying to get out there into the world and to let people know that we're here to co-create with people. We want to do it in a different way. We don't want to we want people to put their pieces of the puzzle out to the world without feeling rejected and without feeling like they can't do it. And because we need every single one of us out here in this world to make this world a better place, and each one of us has this very special, unique gift that each one of us alone has. And we all have we all have our own filters, so we all have a different way of doing things. And we started doing these unity circles so that we could bring teachings through in many different ways. And some of the teachings that we do are all about, like, they could all be like the same type of topic, but every person that we bring on brings on different tools and different things to put into play. into the toolbox. And one person may not resonate with the other person, but they may resonate with the other, if that makes any sense. And so we started bringing these forward. And so what we've figured out how to do is we opened up we have these platforms, and we do these unity circles inside of there. We invite that's members in the group to come in and participate. And all of the teachers, all of the hosts that come into these unity circles, they're all doing this from the heart without any expectation. They're giving this out from their heart. And we do ask that you do give back if you can. Like, if you can give back a gift from your heart to the host, we will be putting up like a PayPal me button or something to help that host. So if you feel like you get something out of the unity circle, it would be really, we would like to encourage you to give, to even if it's just a tiny bit, just to give something back to the person that hosted it. But it's not like an obligated thing. You don't have to do it. But that's basically what we have started, and we just wanted to let you guys know that. And if you're watching this and you are not a member of the New Earth Ascending Consciousness group yet, please find us and come and be a member and start co-creating with us together. We have grown since first. We've grown from 800 members to 1,000 members. So we've grown 1,000 people since August, and we couldn't have done that without all of you coming in and being members. And the unity circles into really, really exciting. We had one yesterday. We actually got a really funny thing happened when we were in there. This guy came on and he said some funny things. He wasn't part of the unity circle, but we all laughed and we had a good time. So that's basically all I wanted to say. Me and my long voice. I'm out here in the forest, and if anybody's wondering, in Killarney, County Kerry, Ireland. And I think I should stop talking because Bonnie's looking at me funny.
With no further ado, we need to bring on Debra. Debra
Yeah,
Wall.
we need to bring on Debra. Now I'm doing this from my phone, so I hope I don't lose her when I try to bring her in. So let's see if I can bring her in. Here we go. We got Debra.
Hi.
Welcome, Debra.
Hi, Debra.
Hi, guys. I just want to start out and say thank you for having me. I think what you're doing is really cool and really amazing. And the spiritual journey, or at least for mine, it at times gets really lonely and isolating, and you start to kind of feel like you don't fit in. And so to have a group like this where everybody's on the same wavelength and kind of has the same goal is really comforting and reassuring. And I can parallel what Robin said about the pieces just kind of falling into place, because that's what I'm experiencing. That's what I'm living, is that spirit about 3 years ago just started pushing me to start making these videos of myself. And initially I'm like, I don't want to make a video of myself. And, spirit just keeps pushing and pushing. And the more I learn to follow that voice and follow that guidance, the better my life got. And so a couple of weeks ago when Bonnie asked me to come on, it was this simultaneous sigh of relief of like, okay, this is why you've been doing this. But then at the same time, it was this contraction of like, should I really be doing this? So I really appreciate the opportunity to come on and introduce myself, and hopefully find some of my people, find the people that resonate, that are supposed to be hearing me speak, because I know they must be out there. Otherwise I wouldn't be speaking, because this wasn't my idea. So thank you for being a part of my path.
I have been watching you.
I would like to say something to that.
Huh? What did you say?
You can go first.
Oh, okay.
I was
I was
say
like,
that I can Yeah, no, I want to say something to that, what Deborah is trying to do,
Oh, go
because
ahead.
I too
I'll
have
talk
been doing that
afterwards.
with with my video blogs, and it is not easy, and it's not something like that we go out there and think, oh, we're just gonna like start doing these video blogs, and we're just gonna start pouring our heart out to the world, to people we don't even know, and like it's not an easy thing to do. And when I know that when I first got the call, I thought, are you crazy? I kept saying to my guides, who the hell wants to listen to me talk? Like, who
Right.
wants to listen to my meandering thoughts? You know? And I can know feeling, and it is scary to go out there into the world and put yourself out there. And so I just gotta pat you on the back and say, do you know what, Deborah? Thank you for being another one that goes out there and just speaks your truth and teaches by example, because we need that. Every single one of us has a piece of the puzzle, and every single one of us has something to give to this earth. And I want you to know, because I have found this out since I've been putting myself out there, that even if it's only one person that you helped, that you're helping by just doing that, by just putting yourself up on those videos. Even if you don't
Mm-hmm.
have any lot of followers, don't worry about it. Just keep
Thank
doing
you.
it, keep plugging, because um, you are changing. You're doing something to change the world.
Yeah.
That's
So,
my advice. Donnie, you can talk now.
what I wanted to say was that I first met you. You came to our Reiki 1 class, and um, you were like, "Oh, my guides are opening me up. Am I crazy? This is happening to me. That is happening to me." And now you've become the teacher. And I have been watching your journey on video all this time. And I'm so proud of you. And I've seen you grow in leaps and bounds. And that's why I was really excited to invite you to be here today, because I knew that your voice needed to be heard, and you needed to feel like you are being heard, and that you are doing exactly what Spirit wanted you to do. And so it's just my privilege to have you here today with my family, Robin. And when you meet, you'll eventually meet David, and you'll eventually meet our other co-host, Jessie, and she's a beautiful lady also. And so yeah, it's our privilege to have you here. So once you started on your journey, what was the first thing that the Spirit was doing to work with you? Do you remember how you started?
Wait a second, before you go with that question, Bonnie, I just want to say to people that for Deborah, above this video, I put her bio and everything in here, right? And there is a link to her YouTube page, her YouTube channel. And so if you want to go and listen to what she has been teaching, please go and subscribe to her. I'm gonna be like pushing, go subscribe to her channel, because I put the link right up in here, so you can go there and learn a little bit more about Debra Wall. So I just want to say that
Yeah.
before we get going, so that people know how to connect to her. Okay,
Yeah.
there, Bonnie.
Yeah, well, I was just wanting to know, how did your journey begin? Because everybody starts their journey and they think that they're doing something that's not really important. But if you look back on your journey, it was a huge decision that you made that really got you going in the right direction. So, yeah. So what was your beginning?
It's hard to answer that question, because I can't identify just one thing. Um, it really was the healing process. Is I started sitting down and actually going through my own stuff. And I don't think that my story is unique. I think that's how a lot of people start to evolve spiritually, is they have to get rid of the stuff that's stopping them from communicating with spirit and understanding their connection to it. And so I just started sitting down in meditation and journaling, and actually dealing with all the stuff that was stored inside of me. I had some Reiki sessions, and I feel like that did trigger some awakenings in me. But what I noticed as I sat down with myself is that things would be brought to the surface that I didn't know was stored in me. And it was amazing that every time I addressed one of those things in storage, I suddenly got this new level of understanding. And with that understanding came a higher perspective, and with that higher perspective got new understanding, and it's just amazing how it just expands further and further out. And there were moments of, I guess, remembrance. I always felt within me that I was wanting to go home. And I couldn't explain that sensation. I couldn't explain that feeling. Sometimes I would be feeling it and I'm sitting in my own home. Like, what? I couldn't wrap my brain around what that meant and why that feeling didn't go away. And now I can now look back and remember as a child having this dream, and I'm in the forest and there's this door, and I open the door in the forest and ascend these stairs. I have no recollection of what was at the top of the stairs. I know there was warm light, and I knew when I came back that I was just totally comforted by this place, by this feeling, this light that I had experienced. And I can recall now that ever since having that dream, I felt like I was trying to get back to that place of feeling at home. And I now am at a place where I recognize what that is and what that means, and that I can go there anytime. And I want to give other people that opportunity.
So where do you find it at? Where do you find it at?
I find it in nature. So if I'm feeling overwhelmed, getting outside and being, amongst trees and nature and watching the sun, being on the water, it just brings this sense of calm and lets me, tune out the outside world. Sitting in meditation. I easily feel overstimulated. So making the time to actually sit down and just be. I'm kind of a recovering perfectionist and a recovering list maker and doer and goal setter. And that's all great. But at the end of the day, it didn't actually make me feel okay inside. It didn't actually feed my soul. And so learning to do less and be more, being present in my life is where I feel spirit the most, as well as journaling.
I think that for me, when I figured out that the love and what you're searching for that we call home is within our heart, and it's inside. And when you can be there any second of the day, all you have to do is think it. And it's that simple. But we get into such chaos, and we get into so much, we get ourselves on the list and on the busy tasks that we forget to sit for a moment and go home. And we can at any second. And that's the most beautiful thing that we learn along this journey. And it brings us so much peace. And the first time that you go there, you have this overwhelming remembrance of who you are and why you're here. And that's the most blessing that we get from doing this work. That's what it's all about. And it's all about helping people to find their own, find home within themselves. And that, and I remember being a little girl and doing the same thing, going to a different place, always going to that place but it was always within my heart, within my imagination. And I think that's beautiful, Debra. What is your favorite thing to teach about or to share with people?
That's still evolving, but mostly dealing with our own thoughts, especially those that tend to create this anxious loop and this kind of stuck in suffering, learning to recognize where those beliefs and those thought patterns began so that we can, rewire or reprogram them, and believing that there is other ways of being. There is an easier way to exist in the world. Robin touched on, it's not hard to come on and be vulnerable and show yourself and show your own darkness. And, what I keep getting pushed to do it is somebody has to. That if no one's willing to come out and talk about how trauma and your family and the things you've experienced actually change us and change how we interact with each other, and eventually not just change us but control us. If nobody's willing to come out and really address that issue head on, well, then we all keep suffering, we all keep struggling, simply because we don't know we're programmed, and we don't know that we're existing in ways that don't serve us, simply because we don't know any different. And yeah, that's part of why I'm being pushed to do this, or choosing to do this, is because once you start to deal with your own stuff and you learn how to live better and be happier, well, the next step is you want everybody else up here with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just being like, if you can, I know by myself, like teaching, just coming out and teaching and just telling people, like, because like I'll usually come on most of the time when I do a teaching video, I come on when I'm most vulnerable, when I'm working through something, when something is going on, because I want to show people that you because people, when they look at me from the outside, they think like my life is perfect. People will look at you and they think, oh, she's this like amazing artist and look at all the things she does and everything, and she can come on there and talk and all this kind of thing. But like, there are times when I am really vulnerable and I cry just like everybody else, and I go through the same wounds that everybody else goes through. And I kind of was thinking, if I'm going through this, other people will be going through this, and if I could just share what I'm going through and how I got through it, that's all I can do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we can do. And if we all do that, we're all teaching by example and showing people out there in the world that everyday normal people, like, I'm just an everyday normal people. Debra's just an everyday normal person. Bonnie's just an everyday normal person. We don't have anything like magical that's extra special about us, other than the fact that we allow ourselves to become vulnerable, and we put ourselves out there. And just, if we don't get anything, if anything more from this interview or anything like that, is, if we don't get anything more, maybe just tell people, like, you're normal, because you like, all
Right.
of us cry, all of us have wounds, and we all have to work through them. And that there's nothing wrong with you, and that you're just as special as myself, Bonnie, and Debra. Like, you're just as special. And I guess I don't even know where I'm going with that. I'm kind of lost what I was trying to say. But
What you were saying was beautiful, because it's true. We're all in this boat together. We're all trying to navigate through these high energies, and with all the stuff that's going on around us, we're all trying to stay grounded and hold the light. And and there's no such thing as a perfect human being. We all have flaws. We all have woundings. We all go through the dark nights, and we need each other sometimes, and that's what we're all here for, to help each other, you know.
And
yeah,
the interesting thing for
and the
me,
more we be,
oh, Bonnie asked about the
so,
topics of videos.
mm-hmm,
And to be honest, sometimes I don't know what the topic's going to be. Is I'm just
mm-hmm,
told to get on camera and stuff just starts coming out. It's just like
mm-hmm,
I'm just the conduit. I'm just channeling this message. And I don't always know whose words these are, because oftentimes I
mm-hmm,
can't claim that they're even mine. And
mm-hmm,
sometimes I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over and over again. And it's because that's the message that people aren't quite getting, that they are loved and that they are important and they do serve a purpose here. And that's how I have reassurance that I'm not losing it, is that the things I say sometimes are really profound. But again, I want to stress, like, they don't always feel like mine.
Yeah. Yeah, we all channel that way, and it all comes through, but it is yours, because we're all one, and everything you say comes from the all. And so it is yours, and it's mine, and it's Robin's, and it's everyone else who's here. So I mean, if you look at it in the wider view, it is yours. It's your truth, and it's our truth, and you're just sharing it with us because a lot of people haven't woken up to understand the truth, and putting it out there and putting it as simple as you can helps others to come online and understand and start searching for themselves. It's the answers to all of their questions they have within their own heart. They just have to have this light bulb come on for them to want to look for the answers, in the first place. It happens to all of us. And it's pretty amazing to watch a new person come online like that. Somebody that you've known for many, many years suddenly go, I don't think I think, you're not as crazy as I thought. you know? And then they start asking you questions and you're like, oh wow, they're awakening. You get so excited. So we're seeing that a lot
Do you
lately.
find, Deborah, that there's like I'm hearing an echo in myself. I don't know if you guys are hearing it.
No, you're okay.
Do you find that there is like a thread going through your teachings, your channelings, and is there a common thread that comes through that seems to be coming up an awful lot?
It's a lot of shadow work based messages about feeling past hurts and pain and releasing them. That's the predominant theme. It seems to be shadow work and healing from the past. And for me, it's recognizing, this kind of ties into Reiki, is recognizing where those things are stored within the body. For me, myself, I struggled with pain in my heart, with pain in my chest. And I thought for years there was something physically wrong. And, after being tested and checked out, I now can say years later, it's all related to energy. It's all related to stuff stored inside. And so the common theme is darkness or shadow work, and letting that go, recognizing how you can feel energy inside of your own body and how to start working with the ability to feel that and move those energies. And then just the awareness and empowering people to recognize that they do get to participate in this process, that they aren't just existing, that they're actually co-creating within their world, and empowering them to start take on that responsibility with excitement.
Yeah, I think in our own filters. What are you doing, Robin? In our own filters, we're
I was feeling like I was kind of like crooked or something. I'm sorry. And then I was like, how the thing is like reversed, and so I couldn't figure out which side to kind of like lean towards. And then then all of a sudden, out of the side of my eye, there was an elemental that just kind of stuck itself out there's like a little bush next to me. And I was just kind of like, oh, okay. I was just getting a little bit uncomfortable there for a second. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think we all are definitely in the same line with the shadow work and the heart release. And I too had tests of my heart because I thought something was wrong, and it physically, and no, it's all energetic. And I mean, not that people don't seriously have heart problems, but the energy doesn't help either. Especially if you're carrying around heavy trauma that you refuse to let go of, that just puts so much weight and trauma on your heart that physically, eventually, it will affect you. It will affect you eventually if you don't start letting it go. And that's true. And so that's why it's so very important to release all these energies and to realize that you are not the emotion. The emotion is just to tell you that you've disconnected from the divine, that you've gotten yourself upset. So now feel the emotion and then let it go, and then move back into the light. It's the easiest way to do it. And it's okay. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to lose your temper. So what if you're a light worker and you get upset and you cuss at the wind? I mean, it's just Get it out
I
of
did
your
that
system.
yesterday, didn't I, Bonnie?
Yeah.
Did I have
She had
like
a bad
the
day
biggest pity
yesterday.
party?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I got the ugly cry out yesterday. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did that.
But that's what you do though, because and then you lean on your friends and your family to
Yeah.
help you get through it. That's what you do. And that's what we're here for. And right now it is really hard work because we're not just trying to release trauma from this lifetime. It's all directions in time. So it's all other aspects of your lives. And so it's just really, really intense right now. And we just need to be there for each other. That's what we're here for. And anybody who wants to stand up and hold that torch for everyone else, they are a blessing and they are holding the light and they're being exactly what they came here to do. And it doesn't matter how you do it and in what way you do it, you're doing it right. I mean, that's the message I get over and over again. As long as you're holding the light, you're doing it right. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
I started
So
viewing
Deborah.
it as like I'm assigned to be the cleaning crew. Like especially in the last 6 months, I would just get these huge clouds of consciousness that I recognized were not my own. And I started realizing like, okay, this is what it means to be a light worker, is that you have to look at whatever this is that's floated in and actually see it and see, how it's changed us and how it's affecting us, and send that to the light to be transmuted. And when I started recognizing that's what was happening, and understanding that I can have these clouds, if you will, float in and know that they're not mine directly, meaning not from this life, but that they're others, and that I can clear that. Well, then when you see that changes the whole system, well, you recognize the importance of holding the light and doing that work, even if nobody else understands what it is that you're doing when you're wandering in the woods.
It doesn't matter. And then also helping the mother, doing that grid work and sending that energy down to her. Once you've done that, you've brought in the light and sending her that sunlight. It's all about that. That's what it's all about. And it's just, to us, it's really exciting and but it doesn't look like a whole lot to other people. They don't understand what it is we're doing. But it's okay because we know.
I just want to say before I get cut off, because my battery is literally almost dead. I just wanted to say thank you, Deborah, for coming on, because I have a feeling I'm going to be leaving before this is over with. And I wanted to say thank you for stepping up to the plate and coming in and hosting a Unity Circle with us. And I look forward to the Unity Circle. It's going to be, what is the name of it again? It's called
Reprogramming Your Energy.
Yeah.
On November
Reprogramming Your
21st.
Energy on
But
November 21st.
yeah, I think that, I mean, what do you need to talk more, Deborah? Is there more you need to talk about, or I think we're okay. We've already talked about it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I
I'm
mean, if
good.
you're ready to
Okay.
sign off, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank
Well,
you
I just
guys
want to
again
say
for having me.
Well, it's
you're
been a
welcome. Thank
blessing,
you.
and I'm excited about your circle coming up here. And
Yeah. And I'll be putting up her Unity Circle will be coming up the Sunday before it happens. Her Unity Circle will be put up into the announcement section in the New Earth Ascending Consciousness group page. It'll be put right pinned up to the top. And her Zoom link and everything will be in there. So if you want to come in and be and learn from Deborah and see what it is that her circle is all about, you're more than welcome to come in and participate. And if you don't and you're not able to get in, or you miss it because of time zones or whatever, you're working or something, it'll be put up, it'll be recorded, and it'll be put up into the New Earth AC YouTube page afterwards, and you'll be able to go and access it there.
yeah. So thanks again, Deborah, for coming on. It's been a blessing having you here.
Thank you, guys.
We love you.
Love you.
I'm literally at the same.